Successfully, I guess, is correct.
Yeah. And before anybody can open a single airlock, you can feel the salt air kind of rushing into the ship.
Shit.
The
kind of flooded our thrusters a little bit.
Yeah, the hull has been breached.
Yeah.
And as the Celiaaradon just sits on the rig, you see this monstrous wave just collide with the side of the rig. Captain Dar kind of flies out of her flight seat and kind of looks over at one of the consoles, kind of going over the scanners. Like, it doesn't look like there's anybody here.
And where
Who's it
did
owned
the
by?
SOS come from?
Nobody's on deck.
Are there any symbols or anything on the rig that will give us a clue as to who owns it, or do we know that already?
You know it was Chimera, or not Chimera, Camera Mining.
Kimura, not Camera.
Kimura Mining, and you see their logo kind of plastered over a few different things. You also see some Weyland-Yutani shipping containers. You see some
gang.
Third World Empire shipping containers as well.
Weyland, not Weyland. That's not your name. That's who you work for. Ivor, do you have any reason? Do you know any reason why the planet was it the rig that was shooting at us? What was shooting at us?
I don't know. As far as I know, this is a mining facility. Maybe that was a mining device that's been co-opted, but
in the wrong way.
I don't know why.
Alan, you would know that the that energy pattern before that thing fired at you guys was unlike anything you've ever seen.
Yeah, it was a high radiation output.
Okay, what does that mean?
And the captain just looks over to you all like, I'm not sure. I was half expecting to be picking up some survivors, which is one of the reasons why the station couldn't come down on their own. In case we had survivors, we're the only ship large enough to effect a rescue. I don't like this at all. All right, Skylar, Quentin, Cammy, you stay on the ship. Everybody else, come with me. And she kind of looks over to grab your med kit, Winnie. I think people might be hurt. Whatever shot at us came from underwater, and if there's nobody up here, I'm afraid we might have to go down there.
In the water?
I can't swim.
So not the water then.
Well, I don't think we'll have to swim to the bottom. There's an elevator, right? And kind of looks over to Ivor.
Yes. We look. We don't need to know how to swim to make our way around here. All right, like everything is laid out in such a way that you can walk and descend down, as you said, through a lift. We'll be fine. Just keep your wits about you, right?
Yeah.
You see the captain kind of move over to a locker, punch in this code, and pull out this pistol and kind of shove it in, or a whole holster, and kind of snap it to her leg. She takes a small pack of emergency supplies, kind of rests it over her shoulder, grab your tools, grab your gears, and let's get ready to go.
I rolled 0 successes.
0 successes. So with that, oh yes, and with that landing, everybody take a point of stress.
Yeah, Alan would kind of just get his tools and gear, maintenance jack, bolt gun, cutting torch, just in case.
And give me a Comtech check, Alan, to finally run that like kind of systems assessment.
Copy that. With 1 stress die,
Yep.
1 success, and no stress.
So with that, you kind of open up the system. You're able to kind of it's like a little bit patchy and like kind of fuzzy, but you're able to kind of like reroute the system a little bit, get a better signal and a better readout as the systems checks report that one of the starboard engines has been ruptured, and the hull alongside it has been pierced. The damage being of a odd energy nature caused a slight short out so that the bulkheads didn't automatically seal when the damage was hit.
Yeah.
So there was some kind of interference almost like surrounding the plasma energy, and you do get a clean reading on high energy radioactive plasma was what you were hit with. This is a technology that you've read about in science fiction books, but never encountered. It's far beyond.
It's experimental.
It's even beyond what you would understand as possible.
Mm-hmm.
It would take such a power source to supply that you wouldn't even know where to start. But it nevertheless, once you fix those overrides and the engine is very repairable, you have the spare parts. Of course, you have doubles for all of your engines on this trip. You're also aware that some supplies could be shuttled down from the Warlock. Should it come to that. And as you kind of express that information to the captain, you just see her kind of like pull on like a military style cap, and kind of like close her eyes for a quick second, holding on to a necklace as she like shoves it back into her shirt. She looks over at you and she's like, "But I hope nobody else comes down until we figure out what the fuck that was. I fear even if we fixed it and took off, we'd just end up right back where we started, or worse, swimming."
We can't send communique of any kind back.
And you just hear Skylar like, "I'm working on it, man, but we took some serious electrical shit there, man. Like, it's all fuzzed out right now. I'll get it done, Cotton. Like, and Alain, Brisbane. Sorry, Brisbane, Mr. Brisbane. I got you, man. Like,
I love Skylar so much.
I got it.
You got this, Skylar.
I'll say Alain likes Skylar so much. He does not inspire as much confidence in Ivor.
Yeah.
Skylar Reeves.
Yeah. Winnifred's gonna pick up 2 like circular pieces of like just looks like metal and stick them to her temples, and then she clicks it and a little green light comes on, and then this like visor of light kind of goes across, and she's got her, I can't remember what we called them. Crap.
Ocumed visor.
Ocumed visor is activated.
Amazing.
It looks badass.
Yeah, and as she does this, Ivor, you've never seen anything like that. That is way too high tech for a crew like this. That's like seeing that's like seeing a high powered laser beam in the passenger seat of a semi truck.
There's just a Dan.
I say, where did you happen upon that particular device? It's very interesting.
I'm really proud of these. I made these myself.
Oh.
I mean, not all of it. Like, I took the parts from other things and like put them together and made them into something else. But like, yeah, I mean, I didn't like forge the metal out of something. I just made the part that shoots.
Right.
Impressive.
Have you sealed the patent on it?
No.
Let's talk after this.
Yeah, and as you like lean in, you what you recognize is like the hypersleep visor that is typically used to kind of view people's dreams. A product of Wayland Yutani, although not necessarily commercially viable, it is sold to very high-profile customers. And as soon as that thought crosses your mind, Winnifred Harcrowe. Of the Harcrows, they are a very predominant mining family. So it makes perfect sense that this young woman would have access to such a
Would have gotten one
advanced
and then
technology.
immediately hacked it.
Hack
Jailbreaked it.
Jailbreak this device, and has created something very profitable. Because as you lean in to get a closer look, you see your face like go under the spectrometer and kind of give back medical readings based on your current condition.
So we're in full predator mode here. We're crossing the streams
Let's
again.
Go.
Yeah.
Alien was inside you the whole time.
And you can see that you have at least 2 points of stress.
Just a quick question: when you push a thing and add a stress, is that permanently added?
Yes, until you use either your signature item or things like napoprene and other types of drugs can chill you out, or like what's considered like a short rest. You can, if you guys like chill for like a whole ass hour, then you can lose one stress.
I am like super chill to hang out with, so sometimes that helps.
As the napoprene jingles in the med bag, you know who to call.
Super chill to hang
out. You see the captain. As you guys all have this interaction, you just the like kind of like airlock door touches down on the platform, and Captain Dar just kind of steps out and like, well, as much as I'd love to leave you on this ship, Alan, I know how much it means to you, but I'm gonna need you. If we get down on that elevator, I can't be stuck with Skylar.
And he's working on the comms right now. He's got that.
Yes.
Well, you should be.
I have the utmost faith in him, but I have more faith in you, so come the fuck with me. And as you guys step out onto the platform, you're kind of hit in the face with this like very warm rain. It's like very large droplets, but it's like quite warm, like almost as warm as you would have a shower.
Like a monsoon.
Yeah, and it just keeps coming down, and the wind is picking up. And as you guys like step away, you see some of these like large booters, these large mechanoids, just kind of like carrying crates. You hear the sounds of grinding and welding as pieces of the platform are being cut away. Pieces of the like quarters that where the crew would once stay is being disassembled. You see some of the smaller booters, these tiny little like robots, just kind of clicking around. They seem completely unfazed, save for one large booter just kind of props up and starts stepping towards you. State your affiliation.
I hold out my signature item. I hold out a letter of corporate authorized.
Of course, that's your personal item.
And it scans it.
I don't even talk to it like it's a human. I show it the barcode. Just yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it just kind of like scans, and you just see it like.
They are with me. Okay. All right. One thing at a time.
Processed. Mission access granted. To Ivor, Venn, And associates, please effect rescue.
Thank you.
That was actually a lot faster than usual.
And you can lose a point of stress as your signature item. You for the first time are truly recognized for your position.
Oh, finally!
I've been
I feel
carrying this
like-
letter for years.
I mean, we met once at a bar, but I don't think you remember.
It's not the same.
Your credentials are recognized, and you are granted access. As you guys move around, you see that up here looks like it's been abandoned for a little while. Captain Dar opens the door to the control room, and you just see all the monitors in a state of lockout. Emergency lockout, emergency lockout, emergency lockout. You see a distress signal that just seems to be ticking through on a recycle. And as she clicks on it to bring up and play the message, it just buzzes right in her face. Level 2 clearance only. Ivor, you possess, even with your clearance, only a level 4. On what could be considered like an open market station like this, or
Right.
an open market rig. She just kind of looks up and it looks like it's been locked out for about only 4 days, which coincides with the emergency protocol. Although hundreds of messages have been sent from this location. There seems to be no information I can glean about the plasma beam. I'm not sure.
Who are they being sent to?
Somebody with level 2 clearance. I can just see the traffic here, and she kind of opens up the the code. And it's just you can't really see the message, but you can see when the timestamps of messages being sent to. She's kind of nervously sighs and kind of sits there in the chair for a minute, contemplating.
Could I have a go at it?
Of course. She kind of spins out of the chair. Go ahead. Give me a Comtech check, please.
I stand over his shoulder and also look, because I like code.
Holy shit! 3 successes.
Oh,
Yay!
damn! All right.
I didn't know you were smart.
So you get you get access to some stunts. So have a look through those stunts and pick one for that. And with those 3, the DC was 2, so you get a single stunt there. And as you kind of look at the code, you're like, oh, I know this. And you can type away furiously, and it brings up all the ear markings of Wayland Yutani communique.
What page are the stunts on? Just for.
That is a great question.
I'll find them. It's okay. It's okay.
I got it bookmarked here.
Going along.
I think it's in the skills section.
Okay.
It describes the skill. And
It starts at 64 there.
Nice.
Should be able to find. Yeah. Comtech stunts are on 69.
Nice.
All right.
You see the Wayland Yutani earmarked Dr. Yuna Areshi. Almost all of these communiques have come from her. The captain walks over to you, Alain, and just kind of stops next to you as the two are looking over the computer. I think we're gonna have to take the elevator down. Would you mind just giving it a quick once over?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Does the doctor's name ring any bells for me? Did I recognize it at all for any reason?
Dr. Yuna Areshi. I wish there was a history thing. I think you would maybe recognize She was a bit of a predominant scientist. She's quite young as well. She's, in
She's
her
a
early
scientist,
30s.
not a medical doctor.
She is a scientist. She is specializing in material physics. And for as you kind of pick that up, Ivor, you bring up one of the communiques, and you just kind of like roll back. You get to a point where they weren't being sent to Weyland-Yutani, and you like open up the new one. It just reads, "You were right. He tried to kill me. I've taken command of this mission, and you were right about the other thing. More information to follow."
Who is this being sent?
This is Yuna Areshi sending it to Weyland-Yutani, and with that, with your stunt, you get some unexpected information in that you actually are able to open the link, kind of left there, the Weyland-Yutani response. You just see in the Weyland-Yutani response the name Class Inverter. As you recognize as the Weyland-Yutani executive that sent you here. His name comes up in the header. It says, "I understand. Do not inform the crew. We are en route. Expect us in 2.5 weeks."
When was this? What was the dates on these correspondences?
That was 2 weeks ago.
Ooh, intrigue.
And with that, Alan, please give me a heavy machinery check, please.
Yep. So I'll go to the elevator door and I'll kind of just take a look at a hatch. I'll kind of just work my way up, check out the wires, controls, see if anything is out of the mess. Everything looks fine. Nothing's been tampered with, but I do have a sneaking suspicion that something is amiss. There should be people or some sign of life. But yep, heavy machinery, you got it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question
Yep.
for the GM and for Ivor, I guess. I'm reading over his shoulder. Are you trying to hide any of this information from me, or are you like telling everyone?
Yeah. Like, it's not information that I know, and I'm not like,
oh shit.
yeah. It isn't like, oh, hey, but it is like, like it be like I think only by virtue of the fact that it is confidential corpo information, like it's company, it's
sketch.
it's a bit sketch, yeah. So I would be trying to hide.
You'd like click it close a little bit quicker than you could.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get you to sign an NDA.
Yeah.
With them elevators, I got 2 successes.
2 successes. You see that it is in perfect working condition. It seems to report to you that there is a perfect seal, and that everything is functioning nominally, and that you also get a reading on the bottom of the elevator. It will take about 2 hours to descend, with the proper depressurization protocols or pressurization protocols. It'll take about 2 hours to get to the bottom, but it seems like the facility waiting for you at the bottom is in fully working condition as well. And take a stunt for that.
The stunt will just be the next time I do it. I got this. Doesn't matter. So far I got the engines perfect and elevators perfect.
And as you say that and kind of step down, you see, you just feel like the elevator sway a little bit heavier than you expected. You expected the captain to come and find you, but as you kind of look down from the hatch, you see Jonas step on the Three World Empires affiliate. and just kind of like silently take post there. This like broad-shouldered, kind of like corporate-looking individual just has this kind of like heavy chiseled like chin, and just kind of like serious, like kind of regards you with a seriousness, and then just kind of like leans up against the like one of the padded walls of the elevator itself. And for you other two, the captain kind of pokes her head into the control room. I think we're about ready. Excuse me, Mr. Venn, if we could just have a minute. We'll meet you in the elevator.
I like back out of the messages. Like I'd already closed the like particularly sensitive one, but I'm gonna like back out of them so that like you would need to do what I did in order to get back in.
Sure.
And I say yes, of course.
I'm gonna like give him a pointed look as he's leaving, because like just so that like he knows that I know that he knows that I saw that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No insight necessary.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like roll insight. I'm just going to ignore you and keep going.
Excellent.
You open your umbrella and head across the deck towards
I
the
put on my
elevator.
hat.
Yeah. Pavlavi reaches out and touches your arm. Winnie just kind of leans in like, I don't like this, Winnie. I don't like this one bit.
Which part?
Like getting shot, getting stopped by the company, getting shot down. Do you think they know? God, I'm not even sure if you know. Like, I'm sorry. I gotta pull it together.
I'm just gonna casually tap on my thing just to read her stress levels while she's talking to me.
She's at 3 stress level.
Ooh, okay.
The thought of going underwater is really freaking her out. You know, she's an amazing space pilot. She's an amazing captain. She is not a military or like expedition leader. Okay. She's feeling really out of her depth in this one. She kind of like keeps a hand on the gun, like, did he find anything? Did you see what you see?
I'm just gonna like take her hands in my hands, and I'm gonna look her in the eyes and just say, okay, I'm not gonna tell you that it's gonna be okay, because, but everyone here is competent. You have me here, or injuries, anything of that sort. You're competent, and you don't have to swim. It'll be okay.
Right.
Okay? And I'm just gonna I'm gonna grab a Nopraline, and I'm just gonna inject it into her forearm when I'm holding her arms.
Oh. Okay.
I'm down to 5.
Okay. And does that how much stress does that get rid of?
All of it. Yeah.
You're right. I mean, you're right. You're totally right. Thank you. And she kind of like puts a hand on the side of your face, like, I'm just gonna need your help, and I don't know if I can rely on the others as much as I know I can rely on you.
I feel like I'm having such a hard like moment in Katie's head where I'm like, okay, so I do want to tell her about this stuff because I also trust her, I think. But like I don't want her to freak out again. So like I don't know. Okay. When we were looking at the messages, it sounded like maybe there was some sort of like fight within the crew. It sounded like maybe there was some sort of like coup or mutiny or something.
More politics. I hate politics.
Wayland Corp definitely has something to do with it, as I think we both know they generally do.
Yeah.
I want to keep it quiet though. I know that that Ivor knows that I know what I saw, but I don't want him to know that you know, because I think that the best advantage we can have is for us to not corner him. That makes sense?
Yeah,
I want to
that's
back him into a corner because we're just gonna get lies. If we can,
Yeah,
if we can tease it out of him, I think we have more opportunity for real information.
Right. And I got the vibe that Desmona trusted him. So, Desmona seems pretty legit.
I'm not sure how much you can trust anyone who works for Wayland Corp, but...
Well, Desmona doesn't, but yeah, I don't think you're wrong. And she'll put her hand on her gun and then just kind of like give you like that like half
easy,
hug.
Easy with the gun. We're underwater now. If you shoot that and there's a hole, that's bad.
Right, but at least, like you said, we won't have to swim because we'll be so deep underwater, we'll just be crushed immediately.
That isn't exactly what I said, but yeah, that is correct. If that makes it better.
Back up to 5.
She kind of like looks out and like, it is beautiful here though. As like a very ominous and like storm kind of like rolls in, and you're just like, Napaprine, what a sweet drug.
And I'm gonna take her hands again. I'm gonna look her sternly in the eye and say, I can't give you more of that until we're done a shift. You understand me? You need to keep your shit together.
Oh, of course. Captain Dar.
You've got this.
I can do this. Thank you, darling. And you two press onto the elevator. Stepping onto the elevator, you see Alan kind of like resealing the hatch above, touching the like control panel. You see the two like corporate executives on opposite sides of the module of the elevator, and Captain Dar kind of steps up and just like, we know a little bit more about our rescue, but we don't know enough. I want everybody to stay on point, stay calm, and listen. Please listen. Do not wander off. We don't know what we're facing down there. Any luck with communications, Alan? On the other side of this?
From what I heard from Skylar, it seems to be probably about 65-70% there. Not quite.
Copy that. And she kind of like grabs the radio on the side of her flak jacket and just kind of leans in like, First Mate Quentin, ship is yours. We are descending now. And clicks it off. Gives you the nod, Alan.
And I'll just start bouncing my rubber ball. Just kind of calm myself down.
Yeah.
Look at everyone. All right.
Look at everyone, and also say, okay, if anyone starts feeling fidgety or, trigger happy or just too freaked out, you come and you see me first. If anyone's injured in any way, even if it's a paper cut, I want to know about it. You understand?
Copy that.
Thank you.
I'll
Do
be
you
sure to not
understand?
get a paper cut.
What's that?
I said I'll be sure to not get a paper cut.
Well, you have the dossier in your hand right now, so I'm just saying. You're at most.
I hold it up and I'm like, safety first.
Yes, thank you. Okay, let's go down into terrible times.
And you begin the descent.
Hold on to your butts.
As you feel it, the doors seal. There's about 3 of the outer doors that just kind of seal tight, and the elevator starts to descend. As you feel that, there's a few of the like viewing ports out the side. You just feel the weight of the entire apparatus just kind of like get lifted for a second, and you feel that kind of like sway of the ocean as the waves pound against the outside of the elevator. You lower below the surface and begin your descent.
Put a hand on the captain's shoulder as we feel that sort of like wave hitting, and I'm like, okay, let's just keep it cool.
Yeah, and you just see her take a deep breath and kind of like nod to you. Her pupils just like mad dilated right now. She's just like, it's
She's
nice.
like, I'm fine.
It's so nice.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel
and
like it must be like sci-fi like clonazepam, right? Like that's basically what this is.
yeah,
Is like
yeah, oh yeah.
amazing.
Relax, guys.
Relax now, everything's fine.
It's cool, baby. It's
On
that,
the
but in injection form.
it's just like Skylar's constant level. Right on, man.
Oh, man.
The lift just descends and descends as you hear the like kind of tings and tangs reverberating through the water as like the mechanical uh, features just slowly lowering you. The kind of like elevator music just kind of playing, and as we descend, you can see some of that naturally kind of like wearing off and getting a little bit antsy. You see Captain Dar just kind of shaking, sitting in one of the chairs, just kind of like looks up at Ivor. Um, so, tell me something about yourself while we wait.
I don't know that there's much to tell. I mean, company man,
It's
it
a
has
pretty
been
good
for
price.
a long. Yeah, sure. I've been places, but they aren't really. It's not the same as talking about myself, I suppose.
Mm.
Have you ever been on field missions like this before? Or...
Yeah, I have. This is
Ah,
my
that's good.
fourth one now.
What? Amazing. Um, what's like the takeaway on that? Like, what's your, what's how high does the paper stack, as they used to say?
Well, from my perspective, the less interesting, the better. But from the company's perspective, well, honestly, they feel the same. Unless things get too interesting, then they want to hear all about it, and it doesn't matter if I'm in danger or not. The thing I dread the most is going home and filling out reports and paperwork. It's a
Have you been
nightmare.
on a field mission like that before, where it got too interesting?
Not too interesting, but there was a tanker that was at risk of exploding. The people needed to evac. It was a whole thing.
And who was in charge of that operation?
We were, but
Hmm.
I fear I maybe said too much about it. Unless you want to sign in NDA, it wasn't in this base, so.
Understood.
Did everyone come out of that mission alive?
Yeah.
That's good. Is he lying?
It's good that he said yeah.
It's good that he said yeah.
Give
Can
me
I check
an observation. Yeah. This would be against your. I'd say it's either your
Manipulation.
observation or manipulation, Ivor. Don't tell us what you rolled.
Okay.
I'm doing it with one stress dice. Ooh, one success and no stress. Hey, I succeeded! It was my first success, guys.
Yeah, yeah, all right.
Woo!
Okay.
Did you match or beat one success?
Yes.
Okay. Seems on the level. Well, it's all well and good. What about you, Jonas? And kind of looks over. The like sturdy dude just kind of like looks up, just be like, "Yeah, lots, lots of these kinds of field missions. It's a pretty standard issue. I mean, really." I'm
Even
not
the
here
part
for
where
the
we,
reports.
even the part where we get shot at by
Been shot at
ions
before.
and
You seen
Yeah.
that before?
you,
Nothing like
you,
that before. I've been shot at before, I'll tell you.
you've
No.
been in the shit. I would like to hear that. That's way more interesting than my
Right.
paperwork
Well,
mess.
NDAs, anyone?
Quite right.
He
Quite
just
right.
kind of
Quite
like
right.
taps his like 3 World Empire badge, like
Uh huh.
a little bit bigger than Wayland.
Hmm.
YW.
Well then, give us what you can, just to pass time. Did you hit all your targets? Did you come out completely unscathed, or do you still have scars?
I do got one scar, and he kind of like pulls over, and you just see like a big long scar. Give me a medical check, Winnie.
Sure.
To see if you can recognize that kind of surgery.
I'm sure I can because I have 10,000 dice for this. When you, well, yeah, it's gonna sound like an explosion. Fireball, let's go. When it says I have a +2 to something, is that like a +2 dice?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So a literal million. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm gonna be really upset if I don't get any successes. Ooh, 1, 2, 3 successes.
Amazing. Huge. So yeah, you're able to recognize that that scar is from what's called an integrative surgery. So it's likely that a part of his body was heavily damaged, and they've like grafted in 3D printed parts and bones and like ligature, and then kind of tried to like seal it back up. A very expensive surgery that is definitely not available to most mercenaries and soldiers. Definitely a privilege of working for such a large faction.
Dang.
Looks expensive.
Nice work. I like examine the stitches, lines, and stuff, and like I imagine they're like smooth and perfect. And I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit of visibility, but honestly, I don't mind that much. You can check it out. And he kind of like
does this
pulls it down a little bit more for you. You can see his nipples
I
pierced.
roll my eyes.
Yeah, he's fit. His handsome leaves his face leaves a little bit of handsome lacking, but he's a pretty fit guy.
Handsome lacking is the best way to say butterface.
He gets by.
A face with texture.
Yeah.
Right.
Many years. You can see this guy doesn't do a lot of pencil pushing and is much more likely to, be in the shit. As he kind of goes on, he tells this like lengthy story about having to like reassert their like assets. They had to discover like a new like type of satellite that had just been like cycling this planet. They thought it was an alien made, but it turned out it was like just cobbled together and like a pirate satellite. And how almost always when you encounter like new technology out in the frontier, it's actually just some asshole like gluing shit together, and that it's just like the energy readings are not always what you think it is. And he kind of goes off on this big like conspiracy or anti-conspiracy about aliens, and how people are just like always blaming aliens, and it's just so annoying, and just kind of tells this lengthy story when for those who are kind of sitting near or around one of the viewpoint ports, just sees like a light flickering from below. It's been about an hour and a half into your journey, and as the elevator just kind of like slowly like stops, you hear the like depressurization activate, Alan, you look out the window and you just see a bright blue flash.
Mm-hmm.
And that bright flash just burning the water, instantly boiling the water as it shoots up and out of the surface. You
Get up an
see
air pocket.
and the elevator just kind of shakes. You just hear Captain Dar just and like grab onto her seat, like reaching out for Winnifred, like as the whole thing like shakes and shudders.
Mm-hmm.
Another flash. Another flash. Pressurization complete. Journey continuing. And as you look down, you just see like that faint blue light fading. Give me an observation check, everybody who's looking out the window. And there's several viewpoints on all sides. I'd say there's like 3 aside, so you're pretty good to more than enough.
1 success.
2.
1 success, 2 success.
1 success.
And with stress die, no fails?
No.
No fails.
I rolled a lot of 1s and none of them are on my stress die.
Awesome.
Jeebus.
Yeah, all of you, as you look out, especially Alan, you see that like green light just like fading. And it seems like you can see like a few of the other like dotted lights around the facility. You'll get like a slight you can get kind of like an idea of the layout of
the power grid
facility.
Yeah.
But that green light is not coming from what you determined to be the like primary facility. It looks
Right.
like it's coming from a little bit ways away. And as you kind of notice that, you see a little bit of distortion with your high roll. You're able to make out that it's like sediment coming to a rest off of the seafloor. As that light like finally fades, you see only the facility kind of like come into view. Everybody, as you like lower down, it looks like the exterior, although covered in bits of sediment from the sea floor, you can now see this like winding landscape, just faintly lit, and then just the oppressive darkness that just seems to like want to consume the facility. It's the second one of those lights fades, the shadow will take the whole thing. You see that the entire facility looks to be in good shape and well intact. One odd thing you do see, all of you, as you kind of reach the very top of the facility, you see like an extended arm kind of like reach out of the back of the facility, as if there's been more like kind of modular pieces added to the facility
like an arm
very
of the
recently.
Facility, not an arm. I was like, wait, what?
Jaws 3. Yeah.
I'm like, ah, shit. Here we go again.
Yeah.
And with seeing all that, I will let everyone know that the hall is still intact and they still have power.
That light, is it 3 every time? It feels like a pulse ray or something. It feels like a weapon firing.
Was it firing at us when we were flying in the sky? Or did it just go off?
Oh, yeah.
Like it changed directions when we did?
Our computer might not... Oh, sorry, I did the Southerner thing. I always do that. Our computer...
I don't blame you.
Our computer recognized that as a weapons lock, so I think you're spot on, Winnifred.
Then, what did it just fire at?
And everybody kind of like looks around. Perhaps
towards the ship.
Perhaps the warlock sent something?
I really hope they didn't.
What would they send? They already sent us. What would they send?
They'd send a shuttle. They
Is it
could.
they haven't heard from us or something, and they saw us get hit? How's
I
Skylar
get-
doing with the comms?
Good point. Quentin, we're nearing the bottom of the facility. Do you copy?
Shit.
What? It's,
Yeah, there's going to be interference no matter what we do.
Alan, you know that you could, you like pick up the phone in the elevator to give that a try. And as you do, because it's all corded and cabled and run right up to the station, I'm hoping Skylar was maybe smart enough to patch in. And as you like hold it to your ear, you just hear this like piercing tone ring out, and almost everybody can hear it. And just like you just hear a voice: "Systems lock, lockout, level 2 clearance, emergencies only."
Well, that's not good.
I give Ivor a very pointed look.
What?
Does that mean someone with a level 2 clearance has locked us out?
Someone
We
higher
already-
than Ivor's?
Yeah.
My clearance certainly isn't level 2, but we already knew that we were locked out of everything.
Did we?
That means someone else is here.
That's what I mean. Is like we were using the systems before, weren't we? Like, we used the elevator. We wouldn't have been able to use that at all if we were locked out. Now we're locked out. Is that a new thing, or is Kaiti stupid?
No, no, you're right. So
Okay.
basically, what you're to understand is that you were given level 4 clearance based on Ivor and Jonas are high priority guests. You guys, the rest of the crew of the Celiaaradon would be considered level 5 guests. Level 1 obviously being the utmost highest. Level 2 is likely there's likely 2 or 3 people a part of this crew that would have that clearance, like
Administrative.
the day leader, the
Desmona or
mission
whatever?
leader, and the no, Desmona
Oh,
is
right, yeah,
from the
the governor.
warlock.
Sorry,
Yeah.
from the mining team. That would
Yes, on the mining team.
Right.
Dr. Curtis Trammell
Okay.
is the mission leader. He's got level 2. You also, in that report, you would have been able to glean. Let me just find everybody's names. Paul Sorella, the union leader and day shift manager, has level 2, and also Dr. Yuna Areshi, the second in command underneath Curtis Trimnell, who is the author of those messages you read. So those 3 people have level 2 clearance.
Curtis,
what you're-
Paul, and Dr. Areshi.
Pardon?
Who was the third person, which was also the first person you said?
Dr. Curtis Trammell.
Yep.
Trimnell.
And was he a medical doctor or a scientist also?
He's also a scientist and mission leader. You would
Classified.
understand that it has something to do with being at this point of proximity to the facility that is reinitiated the elevator lockout.
So
Oh.
that means that
Stuff in here?
either the system is recognizing that we are here and shouldn't be, or one of those 3 people are here.
I have locked this out.
Right.
So
But
that means-
why?
Could be,
Does that
could
mean
be a
that-
hijacking situation.
Why the fuck would they send an SOS and then lock us out?
Because it could be a hijacking situation. There could be someone else down there trying to prevent them to communicate with us.
We can't, just to be clear, we can't use this elevator to go back up now?
What?
Right.
Can.
You hear Captain Dar.
What a great captain!
No. We could. We just need to gain access to the control.
Right.
Okay.
And as you
We
say
need to
that,
do our job. That's it.
you kind of land at the bottom. The gates Airlock secured. Exit in progress. Please grab all your personal belongings and step clear of the elevator gate.